It's come to my attention that there are some really bad takes that still need to be shamed. It looks like our force went out of business last year and the goons ran wild. So, you know the drill. Screenshots only. If you have them, send them to me on any social media, DM preferably. Also, the Instagram page at NBA Twitter Police. Let's have some fun. February has got to be fun. January was trash. Look at this thread. I found this on a thread talking about how we need a villain player. And so the top guy is saying that Devin Booker needs to take the role, that he's the closest thing since Kobe in terms of playstyle, and dude brings up a good point. He starts off well talking about how Kobe had like all NBA defense, so it's really not close at all. Guy 1 points out that it's close on offense, which I don't really agree with, but this is where he lost me. Kobe had Pau Gasol, such a burden. He had Pau Gasol in 1 game. Booker has Aiden, better than Pau in my honest opinion, and the Suns are still trash. Hey yo, look, alright, at this point I am totally willing to be reasonable. This could just be an age thing. I get that I grew up watching Pau Gasol and Kobe in like 2008, 2009. It was actually a pretty long time ago. Time is just slipping from me. And apparently it slips to the point now that people think having Pau Gasol was a burden on Kobe Bryant. This was something that he actually had to fight through. The ultra skilled 7-foot post player that could also shoot mid-range and was a great pick and roll partner. Apparently at this point, DeAndre Ayton is an upgrade. Yeah, we'll go with that. You know what, we'll go with that. Could you have imagined Aiden and Kobe? They would have went 3 for 3 without breaking a sweat. Also, side note, Pau Gasol is getting plenty of love in our Legends League on Twitch, so drop by if you're clueless. I can't remember where I found this one, but it's probably a Derrick Rose post and it says trade him for Kuzma and Rondo. Guy number 2 goes, shake my head. They should have kept Zoe and BI, but they both doing better than Kuz and Rondo's trash ass. Yep. We're still doing this. We're still doing the whole Lakers sold the farm. Lakers gave up too much. But hey, in all fairness, Zoe and BI are definitely doing good right now. Zoe is a really nice pairing with Zion. Ingram is an all-star. I'd say it worked out for both teams. I just don't get the notion that the Lakers shouldn't have traded for Anthony Davis when they're first in the West, have championship aspirations, and probably will have championship aspirations for at least another year or so. I just don't think under any circumstances that keeping 2 guys who need shots and kind of need the ball, young guys at that, keeping them with LeBron James, who is starting to get to that point where we're thinking he might retire in a few years. Yeah, I don't get what the plan was there. That's why I was wondering last year, if they didn't get Anthony Davis, what were they going to do with LeBron James? Because then it just would have been a total waste. Bro, at this point, I'm willing to say that the Pels in LA really they're both happy with this trade. But sure, no, the Lakers absolutely should not have traded for another MVP candidate. What were they thinking? There are so many future Hall of Famers that haven't gotten rings because of LeBron. So you aren't going to count guys like Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose, Melo, and DeRozan that he kept from ever reaching the finals? You know what, right here, alright? This one isn't even roast worthy. This is just wrong. First of all, the only surefire Hall of Famer on this list is Carmelo Anthony, and in his best year on the Knicks, they actually lost to the Pacers. Derrick Rose wound up tearing his ACL before he was even in his prime. Paul George, yes, went against the Heat twice, but then ended up breaking his leg, so that completely destroyed whatever momentum Indiana had going on. Also, not a Hall of Famer. Jimmy Butler, not a Hall of Famer. DeRozan, as of right now, not a Hall of Famer, but yeah, at this point, his whole legacy in the East basically is LeBronto, so I'll give him that. Yeah, not roast worthy. This one just gets marked up for accuracy. Also, shout out to LeBron. While not Hall of Famers, these still are all players that at one point or another did fall at his and the Miami Heat's hands. Also Cleveland. So agree. LeChump? Okay. Why did I even include this one? LeChump would have gotten his ass kicked in the 80s and 90s with the greats that played in that era. He was lucky he plays in the weak, no defense, and zero physical era. LeBron is truly an average player. Sorry, he is no king. You know, 9.9 times out of 10, yeah, I'm really not trying to call another man king. On the flip side of that, LeBron is also one of the biggest and strongest and fastest at his position in history, so if he's playing in an era that's more physical and guys are allowed to hit more, that also means that he's allowed to hit more. Meaning if guys are allowed to be reckless when he's driving to the basket, he's allowed to be reckless when driving to the basket. Also, I just have a hard time believing some of these guys have ever actually been on a basketball court in any kind of setting. Could you imagine standing in front of somebody 6'9", 250 plus, very fast, very aggressive, and very strong? Like, even if you are allowed to hit this guy, who says you're gonna be able to hit him hard enough? But, you know, whatever, sure, let's go with that. Strength would have been a huge issue for Braun back in the day. Wow, he did it. He actually did it. Kawhi Leonard has 24, 10, and 10 through 3 quarters. That means after 613 career games, he finally has his first career triple-double. The sincerest of congratulations for this milestone. Hey yo, I didn't even have a a critique for this one. Just why does this guy have so much hate flowing through his blood for any basketball player not named LeBron James? Is it just part of the persona that they pay for? I mean, don't get me wrong, if they toss me a bag, I'd probably act like this too, but damn, bro. Kawhi just chilling in the strip club and catching strays for no good reason. Oh, but the best responses came under the Bleacher Report article. Dude goes, oh, he barely has one and he's supposed to be the #1 player. Hey, I can't figure out if triple doubles are underrated or overrated. On one hand, people really don't appreciate them as much anymore since Westbrook made them mainstream. Then you got this crowd that basically measures your greatness by triple doubles. But hey, if these are the vibes, this guy had to be the biggest Oscar Robertson stan in this millennia. In reference to LeBron James, we have absolutely drive and dish, drive and dish, drive and dish. But I'm supposed to believe he's a passing genius? Just had shooters his whole career in a stat pad era. You know, come to think of it, he's right. LeBron James has he's never displayed a great acumen for court vision. He's never thrown great passes, actually. He's never been that great at creating opportunities for guys. He's never contorted defenses and found the open man. Oh, and also your passing skills and your offensive awareness mean absolutely nothing if you have teammates that aren't shooting under 20% from the three-point line. I like this rule set, man. Seems very logical. On the topic of Rudy Gobert, he really is just as good, if not better than a prime Dwight. But because Dwight played in a low talent era, people noticed more. I absolutely agree. If you were to surround Rudy Gobert with shooters, I totally believe that he could perform at an MVP level on both offense and defense. There would be a show of force like you have never seen before. Take Gobert and put him on those Magic teams that Dwight had, they are going straight to the finals. No, they are going to win the finals. The 09 Lakers do not stand a chance. I'm imagining a good 30 and 15 for Gobert, and that 30 for Gobert, I mean, he's giving people post spins, he's drawing double teams, he's dunking over the defense. Yeah, no, a prime Dwight don't have shit on today's Gobert. You know, I noticed this going through the 2010s. Comparing sometimes the 2010s to the 2000s is like that 6 foot versus 5'11" meme. It's like not that much time passed in between the two, but apparently some of the greatest players of the 2000s would have just been scrubs in like the era that we just got done watching and the one we're progressing through right now. But I've totally seen it with my own eyes. Gobert has absolutely had a show of force and dominance that really reminds me of a prime Dwight Howard and really makes me think he could have done a better job. Dwight was a fucking bum. Oh, by the way, this profile picture is so on brand. On that note, I think I'm done. I think we got through a lot of takes today that weren't biased at all. They had a lot of information backing them up, and if you disagree, you're completely casual. If you see any more very intellectual takes around the interwebs, don't hesitate to send them to me. Screenshots only, please. Don't describe what somebody said. Send it. I want to see all of its intellectual beauty. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub. Also, hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications next time a video like this one drops. At NBA Twitter Police on Instagram, by the way. That's the best place to send these takes, but you're free to try the other pings as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.